Greetings. This is part two of the Aquarius Solar Eclipse that we were discussing, and I had to make a lot of edits in the last one, so I usually like to at least have a start of just introducing myself. So this is Soul Inspired on YouTube, and I appreciate you being here. So I wanted to continue part two about the solar eclipse that we're having on Tuesday at 7:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So to continue a little bit more about Aquarius, um, it is the traits of Aquarius Uranus traits is that they are innovative, they're progressive, electric. I said that before. Humanitarian, really important to know that. And individualistic, sometimes aloof, unpredictable, rebellious, inventive. They are sometimes shocking, independent, detached, intelligent, scientific, quirky, spacey. So those are some of the traits. Um, and some of the things that I would consider doing this eclipse is not to lose your sense of reality during this great awakening that we're walking through. We do know that Pluto is in Aquarius as well, and we should not, and also we still have Uranus in Taurus at 28 to 29 degrees. So we are dealing with a lot of this energy, but don't lose your sense of reality during this great awakening. Sun, the sun and Mars is in Aquarius and can cause this energy to be very shocking and rebellious. This is astrological period influenced by Uranus is characterized by innovation, rebellion, shocking revelations, and unpredictable changes in value systems and finances. Solar flares and electronics, powerful solar flares, and the potential for an X flare to disrupt electronics and internet, leading to possible chaos, political revelations, and deep state agencies agendas. Recently released files that we all, a lot of people are talking about, suggesting that political figures like the guy in that seat, White House, and Biden are involved in a larger agenda controlled by the powerful. And some say that Sleepy was deleted in 2019, and they saying that is in the files. So I find that very interesting. So the guy that's been parading around as Sleepy is not him. When I tell you, this world is so wild. It's crazy. The things that we couldn't even comprehend in our minds as decent human beings. We could not even stomach the things that we are seeing and hearing about. So to continue, Uranus in Taurus has also gone direct, and new financial systems continue to find info. We also are talking about on the 17th of the solar eclipse, a very profound, very big, and very important information may come through. The effects of the solar eclipse is there could be tremendous change for the United States in the next 3 to 6 months. The entire month surrounding the eclipse will feel like energy on steroids, becoming more chaotic and statically. I think that's how you say it. Staticky. Y'all just ground yourself during this time. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. I celebrate Black Love Day on the 13th, but I stopped celebrating Valentine's Day years ago. I just found it to be kind of phony. But, do as you please. But with my business, I had someone whose actual birthday was on February 14th, and I spent the day with her at my business. She received spiritual reading, spiritual consultation with me. I spent a lot of time with her with that, and also I did healing work with her. So she spent at least 4 hours. Yeah, I would say 4 hours with me yesterday. So a lot of my day was around that, and so people sometimes need that support during that time. And so this energy that we're in, she, when I was telling her, I was like, you need to ground yourself, because she was definitely in her mind, and her, based on the chakras I was reading, that she needs to do a lot of grounding work. And also she needs to do a lot of work with just clearing her energy, whether it be through spiritual baths, whether it be through salt baths, things like that. And she could do it in the shower as well. But I was just giving her some ideas, because she really wasn't grounded. And I'm saying that to say that this is really a good time to consider grounding yourself with this kind of chaotic energy that we have going on. So yes, the next 3 to 6 months can bring a lot of chaotic energy, potentially causing people to lose their grip on reality. This eclipse is positioned right on the moon of the United States, making the country front and center for these changes. And it sets the stage for the next 6 months, bringing in something new about humanity or technology. It is also squared to Uranus, indicating major disruption, major changes to the system, and possible major changes to electronics and humanity. And on a personal note, people may be shaking off some of the old belief systems and old ways of doing things. In the United States, it will activate the third house of communication, leading to new ways of banking, potential attacks on the grid or the internet, and an overload of information. And we can see that happening now. We have an overload of information. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has something to bring, some new information, another way to talk about it. It's overwhelming. I don't think we're supposed to be inundated with so much information. I actually need to take a break from it myself, and to do more meditation and visualization, just so that my mind can calibrate to my world. Yeah, I think that is important. So again, I was saying that this it will activate the third house of communication for the United States, leading to possible new ways of banking, potential attacks on the grid or the internet, and an overload of information. It also represents military conflict for the U.S. and people continuing to awaken and rebel. This is a very rebellious and eye-opening eclipse about moving beyond the past and focusing on the future, electronics, technology, innovation, human behavior, and extraterrestrials. So I wanted to, bring that forth. Um, it is a time of shifts, as I said earlier, and we do need to think about some of these things, but we also need to stay grounded as possible. I also wanted to add that we have on the 17th as well, we have Ramadan happening, we have the solar eclipse, we have the new lunar year, Chinese New Year, which is the year of the fire horse. And I think there's something else going on that day. I have to look myself, but there is so much happening on the 17th. So I would say lay low It's not that it's bad. It's just I don't think people should be out anyway doing a solar eclipse. But that's old school, they say. But um, that's like 7:01 in the morning. Sometimes people are out already getting to work and things like that. I would I would maybe stay home that day. I can. Yeah, so some of the things that I wanted to add, I said that we are having Ramadan, we're having the solar eclipse, and we're having the new lunar year, Chinese New Year. Some call it Taoist New Year. And we're having Mardi Gras. That's also happening. And we're also having Lent starting. So this particular time is really important that we pray. We put in a lot of prayers to end evil in this world. And we don't need to be distracted by the mundane 3D activities that we participate in on this date. And of course, continue to pray, continue to put out your intentions, continue to work with that energy. Also, Tuesday for me is a Sekhmet day. Tuesday is a day of Sekhmet, so I will be doing a lot of rituals on that day of Sekhmet. I will not be doing rituals on this day after thinking about it. So there you are on that. Temple is a temple I am a priestess of in that temple. I've been a part of Raseki Arts Temple over 10 years. And I give thanks. We just need to put that energy out because this particular solar eclipse it's considered, I think, a circle of fire, something like that. And it's also in the Taoist astrology, it's considered a red horse year. So that energy is very powerful. You may want to, however you look at it, you might want to wear white that day because the energy is so high so you don't get burnt up in the energy. But if you can handle that energy and work with that powerful information of all of this happening on that day, again, Ramadan, Lent, the solar eclipse, the Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, Mardi Gras. There's Aries is at 0 degrees. Such an alignment. Aries is not at 0 degrees. Like, it's Neptune and Aries and Saturn and Why not use this energy, right? So I wanted to add that because I don't know if everyone knew all of the different things happening on this date. And I would say that make sure, again, like I said earlier, ground yourself during this eclipse. It is chaotic energy. It's transformative, forward-thinking energy. And use calming earth-based rituals if you like to just make sure you're not all over the place. Take a bath, a salt bath, maybe with some hyssop or lavender, and just kind of visualize yourself relaxing, your nervous system relaxing. You may want to put your feet in some dirt, put your hands in some dirt, maybe plant a flower or something for yourself, journaling your intentions and meditating. And in terms of visualization, maybe just sit quietly, imagining roots extending from your spine deep into the earth to anchor your energy. And again, as in terms of the ritual bath, take a salt bath with hyssop or lavender to cleanse, focusing on releasing fear and blocks to prepare for transformation. And we cannot forget breath work, grounding breath work, inhaling earth energy and exhaling anxieties, negativity to ground yourself. And this is also a good time to use sage or Palo Santo or frankincense and myrrh or just frankincense to clear your space of stagnant energy. the Aquarius solar eclipse intentions and actions. You can set intentions by writing down what you want to create, focusing on innovation and community, as this eclipse encourages forward thinking. Eclipse journaling, documenting your feelings and insights, particularly or unexpected opportunities, and maybe get a spiritual reading, get a oracle card reading. Um, Cards, using oracle cards or getting a reading from someone can gain clarity on what your needs are and what needs to be changed or released. Um, Now, this is not the time to do on a solar eclipse. It's not the time to be doing rituals. It really is not. This is just more like grounding yourself and things like this. Is not the time to be doing big rituals and things like that. This is not the time. It's the time to kind of be in silence and quiet until the solar eclipse itself is over. I would need to look and see how long the solar eclipse is. I don't think it's going to be seen here, but it's seen other places around the world, or people may go see it. Um, but place your crystals. I don't know. Some people like to put their crystals outside doing an eclipse to absorb its unique potent energy. But I don't know how I feel about that because it is chaotic. So I would caution maybe not do that. Don't be out there doing the most. Take your baths, sit in silence, meditation, visualization, and avoid doing all these things. Again, this is happening during the week. So it's a work week for a lot of people, a school day. I don't know how I wouldn't be out, honestly. But some people don't, they don't really care about that stuff. They're going to do what they're going to do. And I get it. But avoid over ritualizing. Some practitioners advise, like avoiding intense, chaotic magic, suggesting a calm approach, or even resting. So, of course, safety first. Never look directly at the sun without proper eclipse glasses, and focus on surrendering what no longer serves you rather than forcing outcomes. And excuse me, I have some information that I have a nice book that I bought many years ago, and it talks about how the lunar new year affects each particular person in astrology, Chinese tradition. Um, how this particular red horse or fire horse year will affect you based on your birth year, and which animal you are under. I will come back and do a maybe short video on that. I don't know. I might do it since it's coming up pretty quickly. All right, beloveds, I hope you all have a wonderful lunar year. I hope you all enjoy Mardi Gras. I hope you all take some time as well if you're observing Ramadan, that you have a wonderful Ramadan, Lent, if you are observing Lent as well. Just be mindful. Be mindful of any explosive activities in yourself, like avoid arguments, avoid exploding in terms of just your mental ability to, sometimes we have stored anger, and just avoid it. Have more patience with people, especially on the roads, especially in telephone conversations, especially with the internet, social media. Please just take a step back and teach younger people that too, because they have not truly maybe learned how to control their emotions. Avoid arguments because they can, turn into something else. We still do have Mars in Aquarius as well. So yeah, I don't like all this nervous energy, honestly. And we store a lot of that energy in our bodies. So I would even say, think about some somatic exercises to release that stored energy in our bodies, our nervous system. Back in the day, our grandmamas, our mamas, our aunties, like don't pluck my nerves. That was their way of saying, look, you're messing up my nervous system. You're getting on my nerves, right? They would tell you, go somewhere and sit down because you're plucking my nerves. Don't get on my nerves. That was their way of saying, I need a moment to be at peace and meditate. And so, we have to remind ourselves to avoid chaos as much as possible, and to pray as a group, as a community, to end this evil, the evil things that's happening in this world, the suffering. So yes, I wanted to add that as well, and I will talk with you all soon. Much blessings to you all. Much blessings, and Uncle Jasanab. Peace.